live. Yeah, we going live. Hey, we going live. Yeah, we going live. Yeah, we going. Yeah, we going. Yeah, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line. Hey.
All right, so let's get started. Our first segment is obviously always our Who's Really Right. And this is our segment where typically Jared and I are on opposite sides of an issue and we let the people decide who's really right. Luckily, we're in the middle of the NFL playoffs, so it makes it a little easier. And let me just say, last week, I went 6-0. So shout out to Coach Allen, who was my special guest last week. I think she went 3-3. And so she's already texted me and said she's got to be back on so she can redeem herself. It's fine. But I'll tell you, like I told her last week, typically we've been doing this show and we've probably done about 135, 140 episodes together. And it's probably 100 to 40 my way. So I'm going to say we're going to have fun today with our Who's Really Right, because we're going to stay in the same vein that we were last week. And so last week was wild card picks. This week, we are into the playoffs. So we're going to start. Our first one is the Bengals versus the Titans. Who you got?
Yeah, so I want to preface in saying that I'm a Jacksonville Jaguars fan, so just take everything with a grain of salt.
Oh, baby, I don't know what to tell you.
But no, when I look at this Bengals and Titans matchup, I think the return of Derrick Henry is going to be huge. It's going to really help Tennessee, I think, sustain some drives and keep Joe Burrow and the Bengals offense off the field. Obviously, you look at what Joe Burrow and they can do. It's pretty impressive. They've got one of the more explosive offenses in the league, I believe. But I just think that Derrick Henry is really going to come back and alter the trajectory of this game, and so I think I'm going to take Tennessee at home. So that was my thought process on it.
All right. Well, here's my hope is that Derrick Henry comes back and he's Derrick Henry. So let me just start there. And anybody who listens to or watches the show knows that Jared has kind of a bromance with Ryan Tannehill for some reason. I'm not quite sure what that's about, but Tennessee has one of my absolute favorite players because he used to be a Falcon, and that was Julio Jones. But I'm just not. I'm not going to go against Joe Burrow. I don't know what it is about this kid that he just. I said this last week. We often on here talk about LeBron as like he picks up the mop bucket and just everything and brings it with him when he's like, I'm gonna put the team on my back, let's go, like that. And I feel that in Joe Burrow, like he's this LeBronish type football player. Like it's something about this kid, I can't explain what it is. So I'm gonna go Bengals.
Yeah, I mean, I think that comparison between Joe Burrow and LeBron, I think is a really good comparison, especially if you look at Cleveland LeBron. I think there's a piece of Joe Burrow because he is in Cincinnati. He is in North Ohio, where he's from, an area that he's from. Right. I think he really does. He takes a lot of pride in what he's doing right now and wants nothing more than to see and kind of put on for his city a little bit. Yeah,
that's it. It's a put on for the city. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I do think that drive is there. And obviously, having Jamar Chase there, what those two do is incredible. But like I said, I think having Derrick Henry back is going to really be big for Tennessee and just kind of sustaining and, having long drives and keeping Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase off the field.
That would be the only chance they have, in my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah. All right, next one, 49ers and Packers.
So I've always had this thing for Aaron Rodgers.
I got a man crush on him like nobody. I love Aaron Rodgers. I would marry Aaron Rodgers.
So I really wanted to see Dak Prescott and the Cowboys go to the Super Bowl, but obviously such is our luck now. So now I'm going to kind of hop on the Green Bay Packers train. Obviously they're playing in Lambeau. But really, when I look at this, San Francisco's defense is pretty banged up right now. Is Nick Bosa going to be bad? We don't know.
That was horrible. Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah.
So if Bosa is back, and he can really get after Aaron, we know when Aaron's forced to flush out of the pocket, it's not great.
No.
But like I said, I think that San Francisco defense is pretty banged up right now.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because you hate to see those kind of injuries really alter the path of the playoffs when when we get to this point in the season. But that's football, that's playoff football, and
everybody's banged up, honestly, but some more than others at this point.
Exactly. So I think those defensive injuries are really gonna bite San Francisco in the rear.
Okay. Well, we agree on this one because, first of all, I love Aaron Rodgers, I'm just saying, but also because I feel like they're going to Lambeau. We already know it's winter. You San Francisco guys going, it's gonna be cold, probably snowy, no telling. So I don't know. And Aaron Rodgers, I think he has something to prove, honestly.
Yeah. He's
got something to prove. He's had a lot of self-inflicted wounds this past year or so. And so I feel like he's more locked in than I've seen him in a minute right now. And so I just got to go with them. I feel like the Packers are going to do this. This next game, my God, I have no idea. It's the Rams versus the Bucks.
Yeah. No, I definitely struggle with this one too. A lot of my family are Bucks fans, so they're not going to like this, but I'm going to take LA here simply because, again, I think you look at the injuries, you start weighing these injuries. Tampa Bay's offensive line is really banged up. I mean, I think they've got two starters that could be out. Tristan Wirfs is out. Well, he's not out, but he's pretty
he's banged up. Hurt. So you're right.
Jensen finished the game last week, but really didn't look great. Mm-hmm. And they've got another second string guy that's banged up in there too. So, and I think, LA is going to be able to get after Tom Brady if they want to. Whereas on the other side of the football, you look at what Tampa Bay really likes to do in blitz. Matt Stafford isn't bad against the blitz at all. He's probably
he's so used to being not protected in
Detroit, exactly. He's one of the better performers in the league when he's forced to kind of move around and do that kind of stuff. Yeah. So I think Tampa Bay will have to kind of alter its defensive game plan a little bit because of that. Mm-hmm. And what's typically a strength of theirs and being able to really get after the quarterback and kind of live in the backfield a little bit. I don't think they're going to want to do that against the Rams. Plus, as a Gator, I've got to plug my guy, Van Jefferson. Had a big game last week. Yeah. So great guy, one of my favorite Gators I got to cover. So looking forward to, like I said, really looking forward to this matchup, but I'm going to take it here.
Okay. So I'm torn because I have so much faith in Matthew Stafford, OBJ. Like this, he is loaded. Like Cooper Kupp, they got it covered over there. But I'm sorry, I just cannot bet against Tom Brady because it's some voodoo that he do. And I don't care what's happening, he figures out a way to make it work. As much as I'm not like this huge Tom Brady fan, I can't bet against the guy. I can't. I can't. I don't know why. It makes no logical sense. Everything you just said was so logical and it made so much sense. And then you put in the one factor, Tom Brady.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly fair. I mean, I think he's probably played in more divisional rounds than I think anybody.
I mean, he's got probably some people who are just rookies that he's been in the league playing in playoff games longer than he's been alive. So it's like,
I mean, we say it in journalism that, you know, he's probably forgotten more football than these guys have played. Than some of these guys have played. So
it's real. So yeah, I'm not gonna bet against him. And about their defense, the one thing I will say is they have Todd Bowles is amazing. So he will figure it out.
Right. Absolutely. Oh yeah.
With whatever personnel he has on the field, he will figure it out. He is a chess genius when it comes to, you know, he's not somebody who's like, this is my defense, this is what we're running, we're gonna keep trying. He will figure it out. So I have faith in him, but the two TBs on the team, Todd Bowles and Tom Brady.
Absolutely.
Okay. Lastly, this is not an easy one either. The Bills versus the Chiefs.
Yeah, I had a harder time with this one, I think, than LA Tampa Bay. And I think this is one of those games where no pressure to the fellas I'm about to name, but it's going to come down to one matchup, and that's going to be Tyreek Hill and Taron Johnson.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So I think, you know, Taron Johnson is he really struggled last season. But I mean, I think this year he's really graded as one of the better slot defenders in the league. And obviously you're going against one of the better slot receivers in the league. So I really don't know who's going to win that battle. But like I said, I think it's going to have severe implications on who wins this game. However, aside from that, when I look at really how Kansas City struggled earlier in the season, and just kind of how porous that defense of theirs is, and how hot-handed Josh Allen has been, I think I have to give the edge to the Bills. So like I said, I think that matchup there between Tyreek Hill and Taron Johnson is going to be huge. But you know, away from that, Josh Allen was obviously really, really good last week. Yeah. So I'm going to
Yeah, I'm with you. I can't go against Patrick. I don't know what it is. Well, here's the thing. So this is probably my bias. It's not about Patrick Mahomes. It's really about Travis Kelce, because he's somebody else I would marry. But no, all joking aside, I feel like you're right. They might, those two, the matchup you just talked about, Tyreek Hill and Johnson, I think they're going to maybe cancel each other out, right?
And take away.
And you still got Mecole Hardman, you've got Travis Kelce. So and for me, I think what was missing in the beginning of the season, in which I feel like they've kind of come to a place of fixing it, which they needed all along. I think they were lucky to be as successful as they were in years past, but their run game has finally kind of picked up in the last few weeks. And I feel like if Williams can be effective, I hate that, what's his name? I can't think of his name right now. The LSU kid, he's out. But if Williams, and they've got another running back that have really just been picking up the pace lately. If that can happen, then you've kind of spread out the defense anyway. You've given them a whole new look. And now because they don't just have to concentrate on receivers and tight ends. Now you got to think about all of these other pieces. So if their run game, if the Chiefs can have a run game that is consistent in this game, I feel like that is where they will win. If Dallas had a consistent run game, they would have won. So I feel like that is the piece. So for a recap, you picked Titans, I picked the Bengals. We both picked the Packers. You picked the Rams, I picked the Bucks. You picked the Bills, I picked the Chiefs.
Yep.
So we'll have one alike. So we'll see who's really right. Y'all let us know who you think, because you got to let us know before the games start on Saturday. So you let us know who's really right.
Now put the cameras on me, 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 put the cameras on me.